Aha, welcome to the Tuesday show. I'm Ultra David.
I'm James Chen. How's everybody going?
What are we talking about this week, James?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, let me tell you. Let me show you. Right up here on the top, we have the topics of the day. Here is the Tekken Global Finals. We'll also talk about FGC going to the White House. That's a true story. That actually happened.
That's right, yeah.
Pretty wild to me, but it did. And we'll talk about some game, some event stuff. Maybe there's some community stuff in there. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look.
It's a slow week. Okay, it's a slow
the end
news
of the
week.
year.
Obviously, Tekken Global Finals is big. Okay.
Yes.
That was awesome. We'll talk about it. Super great event. Cool that FGC was in the White House too, but that's basically it. That's basically it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, there's not much going on right now. It's slow.
Kind of drag it out here.
We're heading towards the end of the year. So perhaps we should discuss holiday plans for... no, I'm just kidding. Anyways.
What an idea.
No, Tekken. How much of that did you get a chance to watch?
I watched a bunch of it, actually.
Okay.
I watched a lot of it. I was there watching it most of the day. It was super cool. My Tekken experience is limited, all right? Just to be frank, I played the game a lot in Tekken 5. Back when it was in the arcades and I was in the arcades. That was a decade plus ago. That must have been 12 years ago. I don't know. But it was a long time ago. And when Tekken 7 came back out, I started watching it again. Well, I played Tag 2, right?
Okay,
Not
we
a
played,
lot,
but
we
both
did play
it.
Uh-huh. But now in Tekken 7, I find myself so much more interested than I had been in a while. Tag 2 was a fun game, but for somebody like me to come back in on that game with so many characters, the tag aspect to it, it was just tougher to learn.
Yeah.
It was tougher to follow. So following Tekken 7 now is super cool, and it's cool for me too as somebody who played Jack. Because Jack has had a lot of success this year, as we'll talk about.
I mean, look, even Tekken players acknowledge this, that Tekken has been one of the hardest fighting games to watch. From a spectator standpoint, from an entertainment kind of standpoint. It's harder to watch than a lot of the other fighting games. I have my own theories on why that is. I've talked about them in the past, like shouting out special move names and whatever like that.
Okay.
And I just feel like little presentation things are kind of problematic, but that's just not the case for Tekken 7 anymore.
That's
I
so
feel
pretty.
like Tekken 7, 1 is pretty. 2, like, you can just see what's going on a little bit. I don't even know if that's just because I've played Street Fighter 5 so much now, and I've always said 5 is the most Tekken-like Street Fighter there is because the frame data is that much more important, and the frame traps and the strings are, the minus, negative, that stuff is so much more important. But also, just like the slow-mo KOs.
Oh, so pretty. It's such a hype.
It's so good.
It's such a hype thing.
Yeah. And they added the rage arts. They added the rage drives, I think they're called. And they just added a lot more. There's armor moves now, so you can see like there's just a lot more. And when you see that, the reason why to me that's important is because having the rage drive and the rage arts creates recognizable moves. And that's why I like people yelling out special move names. Because if you watch Ryu and Ken fight each other and everything, and they're just fighting, but then every time they do this uppercut move, they go, Shoryuken! You start recognizing it because of audio, and you realize that it's a special, important move. And so when people do it, you're like, okay, this must be something important.
Okay.
So I felt like that was kind of missing from Tekken, but now you have these rage arts, which when you see it and it does the slow down charge, you're like, oh, here we go! Oh my god, is he gonna live through the armor? And like all this kind of stuff. And so I just think that the presentation of 7 is so good now, and I had a blast watching it. I thought it was so much fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. And so Tasty Steve was out there doing commentary for it. That's why he's not here. Sajam's not here because he just decided to go. Just went to Japan. One night he said, tomorrow morning I'm going to go to Japan. And he did.
Literally at 10 p.m. at night, he called me and was like, James, can you do ESL tomorrow? Yeah. I'm going to go to Japan. And so he's been gone for the last 2 weeks. That's right.
So, Steve was out there, and Eris was out there, and Markman was out there. They were all doing commentary. And, of course, for me, that helps me get into it as well, as somebody who doesn't know Tekken terribly well. I thought they did a great job at, quickly explaining what to look for from different characters, from players, and explaining, why one player what the interest in his backstory is, something that I might not know.
Right.
And there were even times when they didn't know a player, and it turned out that player was really good, as we'll get to, right? So there's a story in that too. Yeah. So having those guys there for me, and having the English commentary was something that was
like, just even the fact that during grand finals, the difference that it made whenever Saint picked the infinite stages compared to the stages with the walls. I thought that they did a great job explaining a lot of that stuff. I still don't personally know what the rules are for how they pick the stages.
I think just loser gets to pick the stage, right? That's how it seemed.
Okay, okay. But yeah, it was dude, they got the Akuma voice guy there.
Yeah, they did.
That was
the actual
so
voice
sick.
actor.
That was so sick. He started talking. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was so cool.
Yeah. Well, Americans went over there. Of course, this was the Tekken Global Finals, which required players to qualify for. And some Americans were there. Not just Americans, though. There were people from Europe and people from Korea and from Japan.
Yeah, I mean, if
all
you
over
take
the
a look
place.
here, I can show you. The web page is not up. There's nothing but background here. Hang on a second. Let me fix that really quick. There we go. All right. So, yeah, you can see here. Here's all the different blocks from all the players. Look, we got a player from Poland here. And here's the United States. Mr. Naps, of course, one of the best Tekken players in the States.
For sure.
Players from Malaysia, obviously Korea, and Japan were here. Indonesia. Princess Ling, there was 3 U.S. players, so Princess Ling was the second one. The third one was down here somewhere. Anakin.
Yeah, Anakin was there as well.
But yeah, so Philippines, United Kingdom was Kane and Trench.
Yeah, his Yoshimitsu was sick, by the way.
Tishuman from Italy, so a lot of players from all over.
Although I believe he was from Japan.
Oh yeah, but he moved out there, and like he was saying, like, I'm representing Italy. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, so it was very cool, and there was a women's qualifier as well. There's women's division, so there were a bunch of women players, and some of them were really good.
I think Canis was one of them.
Yeah, Canis was definitely one of them. Yeah.
And then even AK from the Philippines, he was the really young guy who showed up a while ago and was like beating everybody up. He was here. In fact, he even won his own special award at the end for like they were giving like extra awards, and they gave him one for like most hype exciting player, or like because he was young and he was doing really well and stuff like that. So yeah, really cool. But all these players, they played in pools, and then the top 2 people out of each pool made it out, and then they went to a bracket. And Japan likes to do interesting bracket things. Like I think they got to pick their opponents, or it was something weird like that.
Yeah, once they got to higher in the bracket, it was like that. But so we just have the top 16 results. Like you said, for each pool, it was a round robin, and only 2 players made it out. The Americans didn't do that fantastically. So only
one made it out. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of hope on Mr. Knapp's side, but he didn't end up doing it. I think Gore Bob, the Akuma player, is the one who ended up beating him.
And then also even Anakin, who had just been winning tournament after tournament after tournament in the U.S., didn't make it out of pools. Instead, it was Princess Ling who made it out of pools, which you can see here. Princess Ling tying for 13th place here. So it was Furumizu, Princess Ling, Gore Bob, who was the one that you said.
The Akuma player.
Yeah, and Tsubumi with Brian tied for 9th place. Nii.
Yeah, Nii, obviously one of the best Tekken players ever with Devil Jin. 9th place, not top 8. That was definitely a big upset.
Yeah, I remember watching this, and because everyone's saying like, oh, Street Fighter V is obviously not a random game because look at how the inconsistent results. Then I saw Nii lose, and I was like, should I pop off on Twitter? No, forget it. I'll just leave it. I'll let it go.
But also 9th place was Canis with Claudio. Yeah. So the female players were not just there, to play and lose. She was super good. I think she beat Anakin, right? Was that who eliminated Anakin? So obviously that's an extremely strong player. Her Claudio was really good, really offensive.
Right. And then what is this? Chikurin with Jin and Sho with Elisa. And then here in 7th place is Lohai with Law and AK from the Philippines with Paul. 5th place, I'm So Hot with Leo and Nobi with Dragunov.
Oh, she beat Princess Ling. Okay, that's what it was.
And then, Rather
than Anakin. I knew it was one of the Americans.
Kare used Kazumi in 4th place. 3rd place was Rush Cash. And then in like a sick top.
What a good grand finals.
Yeah,
man.
Grand finals. Chanel with Elisa in 2nd place. And Saint in 1st place.
My man.
Jack 7.
Yeah.
That one, so it was Saint coming from loser side, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or
yes, Saint came from losers.
And then he won like 4 in a row, and it looked like it was going to be a 6-0.
Yeah, they started
like
talking on commentary about how he was like destined to do it. And was like so poetic.
Because he's the EVO winner.
Yeah,
he won EVO this last year. Yeah. And then they kept playing, and then all of a sudden Chanel like clicked. And like she started figuring it out. And he won, I think it was like 2 in a row or something. Let me see if they have a match log.
Yeah, they
here.
probably do.
Okay. So it was just 3-2 in the first one. And then after... Yeah, so it was 3-2. So I can't remember if Chanel went up 2-1 or not. Because I just remember that Saint had to like clutch it out in the last game.
Yep.
And
he certainly did.
Yeah. It was so good. And dude, the emotion from Saint, especially someone who won EVO, you would think he'd be like, look, I'm used to this. Right. I've won these things. But he got super emotional.
Yeah, it was a big moment. The production that they put on there was really nice.
Yeah.
And so it must have felt like this big moment. Tekken was not in the Mandalay Bay esports arena or whatever, sports arena. So for him, winning EVO, I think, was probably not quite the same as it was if you had won one of the games
that's
there.
What it was. Saint went up 5. He won 5 games in a row, and then Chanel brought it all the way back. So there you go.
Yeah, it was extremely close. But yeah, just the production and winning it there. I just think that was a really big thing. But on top of that, the way that it happened. Right. Right. It was just so emotionally draining.
He was up 2-0 in the second set. And you could see it, even though he was winning, he was like, like you could tell he was putting pressure. And after he won, like my favorite comment was from Tasty Steve. You would see Saint start crying, and Steve was like, "Yo, the lip quiver? That's how you know it's real," because he was doing that, the shaky lip thing. Yeah. So but it was really cool. It was really awesome to see. Yeah, really good production.
If you haven't watched, I definitely recommend at least checking out that grand finals because that match I felt was one of the best. In a long time for any game, just the back and forth, and the way that it went, it was, I mean, you're right to bring up the stages, right? You could see so clearly when it got to an infinite stage how Jack could just like zone out. That's so cool.
Which I bet you loved.
I was all about it, of course. A big robot zoner.
It's like the character
that's like built for me.
Like there's only one character I think that's more built for you, and I always think Chrome Dome from the SNES Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You better believe I played Chrome Dome.
Yeah, who was a robot with an SBD and dulcim limbs.
And an invincible fireball. His wake up was a fireball.
That's right.
Bad game, but a lot of fun stuff in there.
But
it was a lot of fun to watch, and you could really see the difference in the stages. So even if you're not somebody who knows Tekken terribly well, you could like really focus in on that and understand how that had a big impact on how Chanel had to play, like whether he was playing offensively, whether that even was like viable.
Right, because like when it was, they played on the Mishima stage, which was not an infinite stage, and you could all of a sudden see Saint had to try to fight for the real estate, so he kept trying to push forward to get to the middle of the stage. And Chanel was able to take advantage of that, but when they played in the infinite stages, he was just like, chase me, come get me. So it made a big difference.
Yeah, it did. Rush Cash, Eris was saying that he hadn't heard of Rush Cash before. I don't have any more information on it than that, but I thought that was really impressive if that's true, that Rush Cash is just some extremely strong player, obviously, but that even somebody who knows Tekken as well as Eris does didn't know who he was, and yet here he is, 3rd place at the global finals.
Right. So shout outs to them, and again the production, all the people that were there. I mean, was it just me, or like that main table where the Japanese commentators were they the commentators that was Hamiko and Harada was commentating? Yep. And one of the other, I don't know
the third guy, but yeah, it was definitely those two.
Yeah, so that's really cool. And then of course they flew out all the like we talked about, Eris and Tasty Steve and Markman was out there for that. Shout outs to all of those guys for putting on a really cool show. So, and then of course they had the reveal at the end, and then Markman made the comment before it came up. He was like, See, shout outs to No Leaks.
But before we stop talking about this, I want to also mention the match between Mr. Naps and I think it was Gore Bob, the Akuma player, because that was right down to the end too, and I thought that was one of the best matches that I'd seen in any game in a long time as well. So the event like really lived up to what it could be. It was great production, really good matches. I loved commentary, and my favorite character won, so all right.
It also felt like it just had that kind of stakes to it. Like you said, the production of it really kind of gave it that feeling. So
yeah,
really cool.
and the results are interesting as well in that they were not the top tier characters that ended up doing well, right? That's something that they kept on talking about, that they were surprised not just that Nii wasn't up in that top 8, but also that the characters that were up there were not what they might have expected in terms of what they were looking at in the arcades succeeding.
Yeah. And then, but as I mentioned, they made an announcement after the tournament was over, and they revealed a couple of new characters, and Kuma and Panda are joining the fray.
2 bears. It's the bears. I don't know, is that... I know one person who cares about...
Dude, yeah, I think we're talking about the same person.
Yeah, I know Super Effects.
Yeah, he was like, yes! And I was
He's the only bear player I have ever met.
Yeah. I definitely know one. I know another bear player who played at like Evo East, and he did really well. I think he was the one that kept telling me he got like 3rd place. He's like, can you put up the videos to YouTube?
Yeah.
And I was like, I definitely will. And I never had.
Wow, what a jerk.
And even at Brooklyn Beatdown, he saw me this year. He's like, so when are you putting those Tekken videos up on YouTube? And I was like...
From 10 years ago.
I was like, damn, I'm totally going to do it. I need to do it, and I haven't done it.
You still haven't done it. Oh, man. Yeah. I'm sure some people were excited for the bears. It did look cool that they're not just like a palette swap of each other. They have different supers, for example. I thought that was nice. But look, what we're all looking for is a release date.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
But they at least revealed when the release date is going to be revealed. They had a release date reveal.
Great. Fantastic.
But they said in February they're going to announce when it's coming out.
Well, that's not very useful to me.
In February, we'll know. So Tekken 7 release date in February will be revealed.
That's super useful. No, I really wish that they would just do that, because the game is not out on console. It's been played...
they said it's January, not February. My bad. The reveal of the reveal.
Oh,
is
no, I
January.
think were you thinking about my tweet where I made the joke that they were going to announce it in February?
A
lot of people thought I was being serious, and I got tweets back saying, "Oh wow, it's going to be out in February, huh?" No, it's just a pun.
I seriously thought you were just like mashing keyboard. I totally
didn't get my joke.
I didn't get the joke. I honestly did not get the
all
February.
People, you didn't get my February.
I did not get the February.
Well, I'm disappointed in you, but okay, I'll have to work better next time, I suppose. Yeah. Well, I want the game to come out because I'm excited to play it.
Yeah. And I've heard so many things about it being a lot more player friendly. Things are easier to do. They were talking about how the wake up system is a lot different now. That made it easier, so the Oki's not as confusing. Also, it was interesting. I want to know what the reason was. They were talking about King, and this makes me really want to play King. But they were saying that King actually feels like a true grappler now because of the way the throw break system changed.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm not sure what the details of that are. Like, they didn't go into details, but if King feels like a true grappler for some reason, I'm just like, dude, that might be who I want to go with. Then,
okay. Yeah, I mean, Tekken historically doesn't really have archetypes in that way. But there are characters that are more about spacing than not, or grabs than not, but there's not like a heavy zoner, heavy grappler. There's
not like, hey, look, I'm gonna plant weird things on the screen and control space. Yeah.
But I'll tell you, since I watched this, I don't know if this happens to you, but I sometimes dream about fighting games playing fighting games
all the time.
And I've been dreaming about launching people with Jack Forward 4-2 to like dash forward, and it goes, and it does like this sick sound to it.
Yeah,
it's like really satisfying. and you got a lot of damage out of it, and it's super unsafe, and like you don't actually use it very often.
Right.
It's just slow and unsafe, but it's still sick. So I've been dreaming about that, and I'm looking forward to actually doing that in training mode. Probably not in real matches.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Look, the event was really cool. I'm hyped for Tekken 7.
Yeah.
I have a lot of hope for this game. I really hope that Tekken 7 can create a Tekken resurgence.
Agreed. It feels strange that Tekken is not one of those top level in terms of entrance games. Because it always was in earlier ages. Mm-hmm. It always was one of those big popular games, and it just hasn't been there over the last few years. So I hope that this is its entrance back into that. Alrighty.
Well, do you have anything else to say about that?
Nope.
We can move on here.
Alright. You want to take a break and we'll talk about the fighting game community and others going to the White House?
Sure. Alright, no problem. We'll be right back, guys.
Alright, welcome back to the Tuesday show. Let's talk now about this one. FGC in the White House.
Alright. Before I guess I could do the other stuff towards the end. Okay. No worries.
Okay.
All right, FGC in the White House. How much of this did you see?
I didn't actually get to watch it. I was doing work.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately. I would like to go back and see it, but I didn't really see it. I do know what it was about. Mm-hmm. I do know that the White House held a video game stream / esports stream to some extent about, trying to get people to sign up for healthcare. Mm-hmm. Right? That was like the goal of it, was to use this as a way to get people
bring awareness.
In the know.
Yeah. Right? Bring awareness. Raise awareness. So.
Yeah. So they invited, as a result, some people from various video games and scenes, and one of them was fighting games. So there we had some FGC reps at the White House.
That's right. It was Gutex, Mike Ross, there as hosts essentially, and then Justin and Snake. Is it really spicy or something?
I'm
okay.
Upset.
Yeah. And
just
Justin and Snake Eyes were there as players. I actually said I firmly believe you should have been there, being your political background, the fact that you could speak about the games really well, and you would have been a good representative. I'm sad you didn't get to make it there. Twitch people should have known better.
Well, you know what? It would have been awesome. I will say that, but I'm really happy that they did invite some of our fellow community members there, and the ones who they did are great choices too.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking of all the people in the FGC that get to go to the White House, who would who would Craigasm about it the most?
Who's worked in politics in the past? Lived in DC for 3 years? Has probably written tweets that would compromise him from being a non-political person who would show up in the White House. That's me. I mean, again, it would have been awesome. It's definitely not going to happen for the next 4 years, at least. Yeah. For sure. For sure. Yeah. We'll see after that. But anyway, it was really great that they did at least send the people who they sent. And that, again, they're great representatives.
I mean, it was funny because I turned on the stream and the first thing I saw was a bunch of people playing Operation, which I have no idea had anything to do with video games, but they were playing Operation. And I was like, okay. But, when it did finally get to the fighting game section, what was interesting to me was the fighting game players were the only ones wearing suits and ties.
Yeah, that's true.
And I wish they didn't all wear black, because it looked like they were going to a funeral or they were trying to revive the Beatles.
What do you think about Justin's suit?
You know what? I mean, he had a black shirt with a black suit with a black tie. He really looked like he was going to a funeral. I think that was my biggest concern about that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised that they were wearing suits and nobody else was.
Yeah, they were the only ones.
I don't know if there was like a mix-up in there or what, but I feel like you should be wearing a suit. Like you're at the White House.
Yeah,
Like I wouldn't wear just this, I mean, come on. Which is basically what some of the guys wore. I saw the picture afterward.
It was nice though. I mean, I was glad that they dressed up for it.
I agree.
It was cool. I thought that they represented well that way.
Yeah, for sure.
And then they ended up playing. They talked about it a little bit. Then they played a first to 2 match, a 2 out of 3 match. But Justin won so fast over Snake Eyes that Justin was like, let's extend it to 3 out of 5 Capcom Cup rules.
Some fast thinking.
And then they played an extra game and Justin won that too.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
He couldn't have like sandbagged a little bit.
I know, right?
Come
Dude,
on.
that's not
just a show.
That's not in Justin's blood. He does not know how to sandbag. And actually, I kind of like that. Like when I played him that one time and he beat me 49 games in a row.
Yikes!
Like I was like, oh my god, this is the. And you know what? It was funny too because one of my best friends who worked with me at my last job, at one time when Justin first moved in, he's like, "Can I come over and play, Justin? I just want to see what it feels like."
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
And he's one of the best like hyper fighting players of all time.
Oh, okay.
So he's really good. He was on the top 20 leaderboard in Pico Rivera. You know that Tomo interview, like where you see the names in the background and his name is on that board and everything like that. He went and played Justin. I think Justin won 100 games in a row.
Literally 100 games in a row.
Literally 100
Justin
games
Wall.
in a row, yeah. And afterwards he was like, I've never felt anything like that in my life.
He beats you in a totally different way than most people do.
And he's the first player that I've ever lost to that I felt like I started to truly believe there were psychics on the planet.
You know, typically when I have played long sets against people, I've started to think that I've gotten like at least a little bit better at their matchup. Even if they beat me, right? Even if I get dunked, I start to feel like, well, okay, there's light at the end of this tunnel. Like, if we play a lot, I'll figure it out. But against Justin, there's no light. There's no light. It's pitch black.
Man.
Nothing you can do. So, anyway, really cool to see them at the White House and like interviewed by White House press corps even, and that's really cool. I'm not one who goes in much for caring about external legitimacy. Doesn't matter to me over much. But that said, just like being at the White House is like maybe an exception to that because that's like wild.
Right.
At the White House?
See, someone, who was it that tweeted or responded to somebody's comment was like, in the 90s, grimy arcades, today, at the White House, playing fighting games.
Yeah, Justin was interviewed and he said essentially that, he's been playing fighting games since it was in grimy arcades and he never would have expected that he would end up in the White House for doing it, and I would never have expected that. Like 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have ever expected that.
We only found out it was happening like a week ago or something like that. Like,
I would never have expected that fighting games would be in the White House.
Literally, I saw a tweet from Justin who was like, "I'm going to the White House." I was like, "Why? Oh, are you going for vacation? Is it just like for fun?"
Yeah. Right.
But he was literally going there to play fighting games. So. Very cool though, very cool, and I mean, shout outs to Twitch for organizing a lot of that because I know like the stream was produced by Twitch, and it was really cool to see a lot of the and the interesting thing about it is the thing that actually made it really cool to me was that a lot of these gamers here, this is a particular topic that I feel like worked well for them because a lot of these streamers and stuff like that, they don't have companies that can pay for their health insurance and everything like that. So this is very important for them. And a lot of them, like Snake Eyes was talking about, because we've all seen the Cultivated series and everything. He comes from a not a great background, right, growing up and everything. And he was able to talk about it from that perspective and how it's been helpful to him and everything like that. So it's I think it's weird. Like a lot of people are like, wait, what's going on? But in the end, I felt like it was a really good call to try to use the gaming.
It's smartly tailored.
Yeah, exactly.
It's tailored to a set of people that tend not to have health insurance. Younger people who are unemployed or underemployed.
Dude, I'm signing up for it right now.
There you go.
I gotta do it now too, so yeah. Dude, I do that all the time. Beansy's like, James' mind was processing the right words to say. I do that all the time when I'm commentating. That's why sometimes you'll hear me pause. I'll be like, and then he was and then you'd start talking, because you're like, you know what, you're not coming up with these words.
Yeah. And if you hear me not talking, it's because I'm tweeting or playing World of Warcraft while commentating.
So true. Oh my god.
Actually, it's true. I did that recently. I actually signed into WoW and did like a quest.
On commentary, yeah. Yeah, in any case, it was really cool to see that going on there. So yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to say about that? Are you tweeting right now? Are you logging on to WoW right now? Are you logging on to WoW right now? You 100% were about to log into WoW.
Leave me alone,
See, the reason why we brought Steve on board was to help fill in the gaps that David leaves when he's playing.
I'm not really locking in. I just thought it'd be funny to.
Speaking of Steam, though,
Pretend.
and games on the PC. I guess we could. Did you have anything else to say about the White House?
I don't think so.
Okay. Tomorrow, Guilty Gear Exit Revelator is coming out tomorrow. So on Steam. Yeah. So for all of you players who have been waiting for the PC version, hoping and praying against all odds that it would come out, your prayers have been answered. It is coming out tomorrow on the PC, and that's going to be really cool. I see some people in the chat saying that the price is kind of high, but there is a special deal that I saw the Axis team tweet saying that there's like if you own Sign on the machine, that you can get like 10% discount off of Revelator. So there's like a special package, like the complete package edition or something like that. So if you have Sign and you buy it, then you can enter a code and get 10% off.
I do.
Oh, you have Sign on there?
I do have Sign.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, look, I want to play on one system, right? Just as much as I can. Nowadays, that's PC. If it was like PS4 or whatever, that's fine. But there are a lot of games that I want to play on PC, and now I can also play fighting games on PC. So, you know, I moved in October, and I only a few days ago set up my PS4. I don't even have an Xbox, and I haven't played the PS4 since I set it up. I have a Wii U. I haven't played that in a while either. So I find myself becoming a PC gamer in a way that I never used to be. Right. I've always played PC games, but I've also always played console games. But now it's nice because I can just turn on the PC. I don't have to deal with all these HDMI cords. You know, there were only a couple of games that I wanted to play that were not on PC.
Right.
It's basically Revelator and KOF.
Right.
And now it's just KOF.
Yeah, and I know if you want to get into Guilty, if you own a PS4 and you're like, there might be a resurgence of Guilty Gear players, so you want to go and play Guilty Gear. Someone just tweeted earlier today that it's available on Amazon for the PS4 for $20 today. So if you really want to pick that up for the PS4, $20, go on Amazon. I'm sure the price will fluctuate quickly, so I don't know if it's still the case right now, but you can go and check to see if it's there. So, oh man, that's such a sad comment in the chat. Wait, there's a KOF game?
Oh yeah.
I know. Like, I don't know what happened. Like, I feel like that game, the Steam, no pun intended, just kind of ran out really fast in that game. But hopefully people will still keep playing. And I know SNK is trying to do their own Capcom Cup kind of thing, like their own Tekken, global Tekken Worlds. So hopefully that'll work. So hopefully that was also sad too. I don't know if you saw that news. Shogundo puts in the chat that Alan Thicke passed away today. So 2016 refuses to go quietly. Alan Thicke was the dad in Growing Pains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also the father of Robin. The father of Robin Thicke. Do you not know who Robin Thicke is?
Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Robin Thicke was the main reason why one of the greatest songs was ever created, and that is Word Crimes by Weird Al Yankovic. Seriously, that song is genius.
Okay.
Beautiful. Oh, all right.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's been a lot of crap in 2016 for sure. Yeah. It's been a weird one.
But see, here's my theory, though, right, on that, like, totally off topic here. I feel like we're just at an age now where we have more celebrities at the age that can pass away because of the fact that the world, got smaller and the media got bigger and everything like that. I just don't feel like the past few years we've had as many celebrities to pass away as we're starting to now, and I feel like it's going to be like this almost from this point forward.
It's an interesting point.
I mean, my brother is like, no, dude, like, you got, like, David Bowie and Prince and, like, naming all these super important people. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see that point.
Well, it's people who have been important since the age of major media.
Right. So I'm wondering then, is 2017 not going to be any better? 2018 not going to be any better? And it could just be like that from this point forward because, like I said, there's just that many more famous people now. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Anything else going on?
Jeez. Let's see. What else do I have in our non-list of topics here? Jeez, no, I have everything here. Oh, well, the Tekken 7, they announced that the home version will have an online tournament mode, which is actually kind of cool.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so they have this whole setup there that it's going to make it so that you can play, like, these tournaments and set up different rules. Like it could be round robin or single elim or double elim and all these things that you can set up these tournaments yourself.
I look forward to playing that on PC after the release date that I'll find out in January.
Well, I mean, they did say that the game is going to come out on PlayStation 4 first, right? And then... Oh, no, I'm thinking of Marvel. So, I really don't have much else to talk about here.
So, you want to bring this Shmo on?
So, here, let me ask you this question here.
Would anybody care about some total randos list for who he wants to see in Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite? Would anybody care? Let me know.
Yeah, exactly.
Just got some guy hanging out.
I mean, let me ask you this question. Do you have a wish list for Marvel vs. Capcom?
I just want 12 in there, James. That's all I care about.
I know you want 12.
That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Other than that, no. Doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter to you at all.
As long as there are archetypes that I care about, that's all that matters to me.
But, I mean, Marvel Universe, you've been watching all the films. You've been...
Yeah, and they're cool. I like those films.
Okay, but nobody from those films, like, in particular that you'd want to see.
Like, I think that, like, Groot as a weird hybrid zoner command grab character could be really sick.
Dude, what if they made him, like, a Mingo?
Yeah, why not? Why not just bring back a Mingo?
Dude,
the weird cactus character from Marvel 2.
Just bring back a Mingo and Ruby Heart.
Yeah, that nobody knows or cares about.
Yeah, but that's probably on his list too. You know that. I mean, look, I've already said my list involves Black Panther. I would like to see Black Panther.
Sure, because that would be cool. He's a cool character.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
And then of course from the Capcom side, if they could figure out a way to get Lin Kurosawa in there, I would love Lin Kurosawa in there. So. But here, you want to just drag this guy in here?
All right.
Just to read his list. So look,
all right, so
look, let's have him read his list. We can all groan at it and then just shove him off and then talk about why his list sucks.
Got it. All right. We're going to bring on... Why don't you scoot in here?
Yeah,
the special guest Sejam is coming in. Straight from Japan.
Yeah, straight. We got him...
All right, this is devolved entirely, so I'm
okay,
just going
to... Okay, yeah. Touch your hair
actually,
a lot,
you know what? It's actually very fitting that you'd be half in the shot.
Thank you.
I think that's beautiful. That's beautiful framing.
Thank you.
Of course, this is...
like a half matter in the FGC.
Do we even want to introduce who he is?
This is Ryan Kasmer.
Unbelievable.
I mean, is it really... I mean, like, we're going to say, like, this is Kasmer, and everyone's going to be like, who?
Hey,
it's like Star-Lord, right?
I guarantee there's at least 3 people in this chat that know me. Minimum.
I'm trying to see.
Bro, I'm Sejam. I'm famous.
That's right. You are Sejam. Yeah. You just have to say sucks to suck and touch your hair a lot.
Yeah.
There you go.
It does look a little bit different. So, what is your list for?
I want to see your list.
I have a whole
keep
thing.
in
You
mind.
can just put it right up on the screen.
Let's do a preface here. Okay, so Kasmer is a avid comic book person.
Oh my God, James.
And then he also has the worst taste in movies in all of history. Okay, let's find out what your list is.
Okay, well, first off, Civil War sucks. Let's just get that.
All right, get him off already. Get him off already. We're done. We're done. Come on, squeeze in a little bit more.
Yeah, it is going.
Yeah, David.
Well, I'm fine. Right.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
all right.
Just sit on your lap.
The inconveniences I deal with.
Unbelievable. These fucking guys. Oh wait, can I swear on the show?
Yeah, you can swear on the show.
Okay.
Well, he already did it.
I know, right? You ask permission. Better to ask for forgiveness than for permission. Is that what we've got here?
Sure.
So, what do you got?
First off, I'm just gonna throw it right out there. I genuinely want this character.
Wait, what's your Twitter again?
EFHRK.
That's it. Right?
Follow me for good tweets.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. There we go.
All right, you want me to just read these off, or do you want to just bring up the whole grid I got?
Do you have the grid in some way that's like accessible to other
It's
people?
just right on my Twitter.
Oh.
You have it on your Twitter?
Yeah.
You want me to bring it up?
Yeah.
Here?
Just search for Wishlist, and then my Twitter handle, and it'll just people just look at this and they just get the shock all at once.
Where is it?
You have to search for it. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Are you serious? Oh my god. Alright.
James, do you really have that much else to talk about right now?
No, we have nothing to talk
We
about.
have
There you
nothing
go.
to talk about.
No.
Green curry.
Yeah,
no rice.
I'm totally checked out.
You don't even have enough food for the show.
Old tweets from Tweet Tunnel, MVC
Why didn't you
4
just
character
search-
wish list.
There you go.
I guess that's the one. Why is there a site called Tweet Tunnel?
I don't know. Why didn't you just search on Twitter like a normal person?
That usually doesn't work for
Were
me.
you about to say that Twitter doesn't have a search function?
No, I was about to say that usually never works for me.
Search wish list, 2 words. Boom.
Boom.
Oh my.
You got the
This
whole
is-
grid.
Second
That's your whole
No,
thing?
second
No.
Oh, the
Second
second
one down.
one. Oh,
I
you
made a
made
whole-
a graphic?
Yes!
You made a graphic?
I had
for
nothing
this?
going on that night.
Oh my god.
I think I was watching a Kevin James movie while I did this.
Well, that
Wow.
would explain a lot.
It's tough.
That would explain
It
a
was a tough
lot.
time.
Do I really want to do this?
You just bring up the whole picture.
Alright, here we go.
Put a lot of work into this, James.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So go press to the left on the little Twitter arrow there.
Which one?
There, right there.
Yeah,
Just
right there. All right. That actually didn't really turn out well.
Yeah.
You can zoom in on that, I
I
don't
think
even
it's
know.
better.
Yeah, that's fine. You can just go to the names.
Okay, there you go.
All right. What do you got here?
All
Jonah Jameson.
How the
You know-
hell
okay.
is that? Wait.
Bro,
This is
hey,
starting
you
out
can,
terribly.
if you can make
J.
Phoenix
Jonah
Wright
Jameson.
a Marvel character, you can totally make J. Jonah Jameson a Marvel character. You cannot tell me if you can make Phoenix Wright work, you can't make this guy work. His attacks would just be shouting, and he just throws money at you. And wild punches, he throws his pills.
And sends Peter Parker to do everything else.
Yeah, he has a super. It's called Get Me Pictures of Spider-Man.
So instead of Maya, it's gonna be Peter Parker, huh?
But he's still voiced by J.K. Simmons.
That would be the part
Yeah.
that I would approve of right there.
Wrap it all up in a nice circle.
All right, Venom and
that's where we
Carnage.
started. Sure.
Venom is probably a given.
I think that's awesome.
I think he'll probably.
Yeah, but you're
make it
wasting
in.
space. You have Venom and Carnage.
I'm all for that. I think that's super cool. I like Carnage a lot.
There's never been a Ryu and Ken.
Yeah, right. I really think you could make them quite different, I feel.
All right,
Make them wild.
Doctor Octopus. I can see that. I can see that.
I will say this. I like all Spider-Man. I think has the best villains of like all the Marvel characters. Of like his roster of villains, like his main villains. I think Spider-Man has all the most interesting ones.
Okay.
So like Venom and Carnage. I mean, they're like popular. Dr.
Right.
Octopus
Okay.
is pretty
Doctor
popular.
Octopus makes sense.
He's
okay.
pretty cool.
Mysterio.
I want
Like,
Mysterio-
He's the guy with the globe for a head, right?
He's the visual effects artist / supervillain.
Right. He's the
And
guy. He's the guy with the crystal ball for a
Yeah,
head.
the fishbowl head.
Go
Yeah.
go to the picture. Is there a picture of him here?
Yeah, the
Yeah, you can
fishbowl
see the
head
little
guy.
one in there.
He's just a fishbowl head.
Yeah.
I just like Mysterio because he's weird and stupid, and none of his super plans ever make sense. Like he'll have a comic story where he'll be like, "I'll make Spider-Man think I'm 50 feet tall," and it's like, okay, then what? You're not actually 50 feet tall, so what are you doing? I just think he's like, you could just add like weird
if
stuff.
he did stuff that was like video game graphic-y, like he would do weird video game things, like he has a super called Mode 7 where your character looks like spinning and stuff like that. I think
Turns out
that'd
like
be
F-
kinda
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sandman,
happened.
also
Sandman,
Spider-Man.
I think
villain.
he could work as a
Well, yeah,
as a
'cause
Marvel character. Like I could see him having like
He would
fast
basically
sort of sand
be. He would basically be
moves.
like 12, right? He would also have an axe hand
Okay.
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. Fine. Punisher. That'd be
Punisher.
cool. He's
Punisher.
I think-
he's the new Cable, right? He just plays that Cable.
I think like Punisher. Well, maybe I'm iffy on Punisher, but I feel like Daredevil is probably gonna get in just because they got the Netflix
Right.
shows.
Uh-huh.
Like half this list,
Well,
I think could
Punisher is-
probably get in. Half of them are just like
Punisher. I mean, he's gonna have his own show as well.
Right,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, uh-huh.
So I think like
likely,
they
yeah.
they'd probably be pushing to put him
Okay.
in.
Hulk. Sure.
Hulk,
Thanos.
I just
yeah.
like-
W-
Sure.
But which Hulk? The Gray Hulk or the Green Hulk?
It's just regular Hulk.
Okay.
I just like regular Hulk.
Regular Hulk. Thanos makes sense.
Makes sense. Rocket Raccoon and Groot. Okay.
You want Groot? Do you want this to be like a Chang and Choi situation?
Yeah.
You want them to be like one character?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like, I mean.
Well, he kind of already was. What do you think the log was when Rocket Raccoon called it? Right? When the log swung in UMVC 3?
I don't remember.
Did anyone ever think about that?
No, but
it was Groot. No,
is it?
I don't. But I mean, I just made the connection right now. It totally makes sense. It could totally work.
MODOK, that's fine.
Why MODOK back?
He's just another like weird guy that I think I played MODOK for a bit in like the very small span I played.
Here's how I picture this list being created. Ryan goes to Google. It says, Google, what are the dumbest Marvel characters?
I'll tell you this, coming up with the Capcom list was a lot easier than the Marvel list, because I tried to do 15
Who's stupid and dumb looking?
So Blade, okay, I've seen
only
people
if it's based off Wesley Snipes,
right?
Who is the only Blade? I know they're recasting him for another Netflix series, and I will not buy it. I reject
well,
that
fortunately,
series.
you don't have to buy it. You don't have to buy it because you just pay for Netflix and it's there.
I do not support them. Also, no Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider. F off Netflix.
I actually wouldn't mind the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider. I thought they did a really good job.
I don't watch
with
that show.
Okay.
Because it doesn't have Nicolas Cage.
I thought they did a good job with it. Taskmaster, you want back?
I just like Taskmaster.
Look, I will approve of Shuma Gorath because I was a Shuma Gorath main in like Marvel superheroes, so I love that character.
I mean, she's been like in like all these games. I'd be kind of surprised if he wasn't back just for legacy.
I just want Children of the Atom Spiral. That's all I want. Children that's Atom-styled Spiral would be awesome. Yeah. Howard the Duck.
Howard the Duck is my favorite Marvel character, and
of course he's your favorite Marvel character. Everything makes too much sense.
Makes total sense.
That makes too much sense.
You're saying you haven't seen the Howard the Duck movie?
I have not seen the Howard the Duck movie.
We got a movie night, dude.
Actually, you know what?
You would like it.
You might get along.
I love it.
You might get along. You might get along with my best friend because my best friend is also one of those people who has weird taste in everything, and he loves Howard the Duck.
James, are you not saying I'm not your best friend?
You are so not my best friend. Oh, I mean, no, you're close, but you know.
Well, you know.
Hi, David. How long have you been here?
So, all right, that rounds out the Marvel side.
Capcom Roll. You want Roll
starting
back?
out strong.
Roll
is
such a classic joke character. I feel like they could throw her in just for laughs. Even if she's like the worst character again, even if they did it on purpose, that's hysterical.
That's what they did last time.
I would rather them put Roll in and have her be like seriously like a good fighter. Like I think that would actually be cool.
I want Roll Tier to be a thing again.
It's your show, man.
Look, okay.
Dr. Wily, eyebrows and all, in a flying saucer attacking.
You can have all his mech
all of
suits.
his supers would just make it. Dude, that would actually be cool.
He could call the other robots.
Actually, would be cool.
No. His super would just be like, he calls a body and his thing attaches to it. And then they fight and then you destroy the body. And then if he activates super, a different body, he has like the floating body. Yeah, he has all the different ones.
I didn't even think about that. That's awesome.
Killer Instinct. Yeah, that's really cool.
And then if you kill...
Actually sounds pretty sick.
That?
Trombone.
Oh, there we go. If you kill Dr. Wily, he turns into an alien, by the way. So.
Is this like deep Mega Man lore?
Oh, it was the ending of
Mega Man 2. Is this
a
game theory?
This was a Mega Man 2 ending when you finally got to Dr. Wily, he turns into an alien and you're like, oh my god, your mind is like blown, and then you kill him and it turns out to be like a little machine and he's operating a machine. So
that's some deep lore.
Dude, it was one of the, but the best part
Mega Man mythos.
I streamed that and a lot of people hadn't seen Mega Man 2. And like I had this video queued up, and this was during the height of the meme. But I was like, so at the end of this game, you'll find out that Dr. Wily really is. I walked into the room and then I played the John Cena theme. So
yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
All right, well, let's move on to the next character.
Okay, Tron, you want her back again?
I just like Tron. I just like her as a character.
Okay. All right.
Nemesis, Frank West. These are all coming.
Yeah,
Dustman.
See, I went with him for like an obscure sort of choice.
Right, but the thing about it is, I mean, he's not even probably the most popular of the robots, right? I mean, Dustman was in Mega Man 4.
No, not the Mega Man character.
I know, and that's why this is a terrible idea. Because if it was the Mega Man 4 character, at least there would have been some credibility to it.
I mean, Dust Force is a good game. They could just put like a weird game, be like, oh yeah, Capcom distributes that
I've never even heard of Dust Force.
It's like a little indie game on Steam and consoles. It kind of plays like Meat Boy. Like,
didn't Capcom make like Snow Brothers, or was that a different game?
Snow Brothers?
Like, I would almost want...
Didn't Nintendo make that game Mario Twins? Just put that in the game. They look the same.
There is a game called Snow Brothers, by the way, which is a complete ripoff of Bubble Bobble.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Baby Bonnie Hood. Is that what BB stands for?
Yeah, BB Hood is Baby Bonnie Hood.
That's my favorite Darkstalkers
or
character.
Buletta.
I knew that, but I didn't know Baby Bonnie was what it stood for.
She's one of those characters that like technically has like 3 different names, just probably from translations.
Anna Karis. You're bringing all like the MVC 2 characters back because Baby Bonnie Hood and Anna Karis.
That game had like no influence on this list.
Because like
it's just
honestly,
like
Jeddah, like I saw Flo say Jeddah, and I thought that was a great choice. I think Jeddah would be sick in this game.
That makes sense. But
Lord
I think
Raptor would be
Actress
pretty
sick.
cool too.
Yeah, Raptor would be cool.
And
Scissor Man,
dude,
also not Mega Man.
Again, his name is Cut Man. Why are you calling him Scissor Man? His name is Cut Man.
Why are you trying to tilt me like this?
From Clock Tower, that
Clock
famous
Tower
classic.
is a series of little like horror games.
Are you serious? You want to put Ono into the game? You want Yoshinori Ono to be in the game?
Man, James,
Oro. Okay.
That one wasn't even a joke.
No, it wasn't. It was a joke. It was a joke.
Yeah. So Oro.
Yeah, he comes out and he throws a little Blanca statue at you.
Why? Tell me why of all the Street Fighter 3 characters, why Oro and not 12? What about Oro makes you think he would fit in a Marvel game?
12 sucks.
Oro is so good that if he uses both hands,
it's
not a fair fight.
So in this game, he would use both hands so he can fight the superheroes.
I don't care. I just really like Oro.
God.
I really want...
Then
Oro was like the
Birdie.
one character that I kept saying, like, if they put him in Street Fighter V, I'll take it so seriously. And I think at this point, even if they put him in, I'm not going to play that game anymore.
So tell me, why Birdie and not 12?
Is every character just, why isn't this 12?
Yeah.
Why was it just 30 12s?
What? That sounds
Just
great.
30 different versions of 12 at different ages.
1 through 30 rather than 12.
And just a baby 12.
All right, so Birdie, yeah, whatever.
Birdie,
Phoenix Wright,
I mean, like,
whatever.
you could swap out Birdie for Hagar.
Arthur,
big body
Firebrand.
characters.
This is actually
Then
not
Phoenix,
like
Phoenix Wright,
this
Arthur, and
is
Firebrand.
actually way more standard of a list than I was expecting.
Yeah,
I'm
the end was-
I could have gone super obscure, but
You
then it'd
already
be like, that would have been weird.
It
Could
was
have been
weird.
like, that one specific zombie mini-boss from Code Veronica that no one saw.
You started out with J. Jonah Jameson, and
Yeah.
it didn't get any better after that.
Yeah, it got
Let the
more.
people decide.
It got more
I
normal
think they made
as
their
it
choice.
goes. Yeah. I've seen some people telling us to end the show. People
Probably for the best.
Yeah.
Probably for
Look,
the best.
I made this. I'll tell you why I made this list. Because before Capcom Cup, there was all the rumors flying around that like, oh, they're gonna announce Marvel 4. It's real. Like I've heard from a guy that knows a guy that used to know a guy who's dead now, but he was related to this guy. Like most ridiculous things. I was so convinced it wasn't real that I made a bet with a lot of people publicly that if they announced it at Capcom Cup, I would play it competitively for a year. And it came out, and I'm pissed.
Because now you have to play it competitively.
Yes,
for a
because I
year.
know people that will scream at me if I don't play this game. So I figured if I have to play it, I might as well put some good
I
characters
saw
in
some
it.
people.
Those
one
characters are not
person,
going to be in there.
One person
Some of those
actually,
may be in there.
Well,
one
fine,
of my
most of them
someone
won't be.
actually tweeted me and said that if Marvel is announced at PSX, he will eat his hat and stream it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
he said specifically Marvel 4, and so that was the loophole that got
what a
him out of
lawyer.
there.
I know someone that said they'd kiss a dog's asshole if they announced it, and they did it.
Yeah, that's true.
They
I saw
did it?
that.
Did he
Yes,
actually do it?
Yes, she tweeted it.
Oh,
No.
no.
Yes.
No, I was thinking of
Happened.
somebody else.
No.
You're thinking, I mean, you probably don't know this person, but
I
this
don't.
happened.
No, okay.
I don't want that to be true.
I'm not even going to say because I don't want anybody to look it up. It's not pleasant.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
Beneath
I
ran
don't wanna
down.
see it.
Beneath ran down the street in
was funny.
underwear.
Yeah, I thought you were just talking about Hanzo Gonzo being a jerk, but
Yeah, Hanzo Gonzo definitely tweeted that as
But
well.
wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
yeah, a lot of people lost some pretty bad bets.
So, is there any? So you can't think of anybody else that you would like to? I think Jeddah would be a cool choice.
Yeah, that makes sense. Who's a Street Fighter character? Who's a Capcom?
They should put
Who's a
Gunsmoke
Capcom?
in there.
I
Gunsmoke.
almost put Gunsmoke on the list.
Dude, he should just do that, and like all of his buttons just shoot in different directions, and so
He
he's
just-
just
but he still just shoots upwards in three directions. He can't actually shoot forward. So it's like, it's canon.
They should put the 1942 ship in there and just have
That
it be
was
like,
on my joke list. I was like the plane from 1942, a T-Rex
This is
from
not your
Dino
joke
Crisis,
list.
a
This
Breath
is
of
a
Fire
serious list.
cartridge. just the cartridge.
Actually, you know what'd be cool is if Newell was in there.
Who?
Newell from Breath of Fire, from Red Earth.
I haven't actually played
from
those games.
Oh, the squid guy,
Capcom
right?
Fighting
Evolution,
Jam.
yeah.
Capcom Fighting Evolution. There's like 4 names. I guess
Yeah.
these
Wait,
games.
what was the first game you said he was from?
Red Earth.
Oh, Red Earth. Yeah, Red Earth. Okay, okay. Wasn't he the squid
wait,
guy?
Did I say Breath of Fire?
Yeah,
no,
you said Breath of Fire.
anyway,
Yeah,
Red Earth.
I was like, because honestly, when you said that, my first reaction was, how does David know any character from Breath of Fire? Because I can almost guarantee you never played Breath
You're
of Fire.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, the guy with the little squids and he like kind of poops squids out and he zones with squids.
Yeah.
That kind of would make sense as a terrible Marvel character choice.
I mean, you could make these characters work. They're just not.
Someone said Little Nemo from Little Nemo Dream Master.
You should put Nemo from Finding Nemo.
I mean, why not just put Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers in there and also put like Little Mermaid?
Let's just put DuckTales in there.
Yeah, Capcom did. Dude,
Let's
Scrooge McDuck?
You just pick DuckTales, that's your whole team.
Dude, Scrooge McDuck would be like dancing and he'd be able to whip things with a cane. Like
they just re-released that game not long ago.
And then you know what
They're
the
doing
best
a
part
new
about?
Disney show too.
Yeah, and they're doing a new Disney. And then his background music could be the Moon theme.
Oh, the Moon theme was good.
He has a super where you teleport into the coin vault, and he jumps into the coins and swims through it, and the other person jumps and they just hit the ground.
They die.
They just break their neck.
Oh, it's gold.
It's like a floor.
Turns out it's gold.
Capcom, call me.
Darkwing Duck. Look, Darkwing Duck is one of my favorite Disney afternoon cartoons of all time, dude. I love that cartoon. If they could put like Negaduck in there, or
like Launchpad,
the Liquidator.
Yeah, Launchpad McQuack, sure.
Dude, well, they should just put in Gizmo Duck. Gizmo Duck.
They could have
Duck lore.
I like this Mighty Ducks idea. They could put in Goldberg, the goalie, and you could have what was it called, like the Wiffle Puck or something? His special,
the Flying V, dude, which would never work in a real.
And then when they
Waffle
win,
Puck or something.
And then when they win, his win code can be Emilio. Please don't tell me you don't get that reference.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh my god.
I'm just bothered that I can't remember what the name of his Knuckle
Puck, according to Curly W. Thank you, Curly. Always there to keep us straight.
Puck. Crazy. Anyway, I got anything else to do.
It's slow. It's a slow time.
I mean, honestly,
tournament season's kind of.
Well, the one thing that I do want to mention this weekend is NEC. This weekend is NEC, one of the bigger tournaments. Unfortunately, NEC was at a really bad time. So last year, it had the same weekend as Capcom Cup, and then Capcom helped them move it to another date. And then I'm sure they did the same thing this year. The biggest problem now is that because they're after Capcom Cup, it's kind of now like a lot of people are already in post-tourney mode and holiday mode. And so I've heard a lot of people are not traveling to NEC, but NEC's always been really big for the anime games, for the Axis games, so I'm sure there will be some really great matches there this weekend. Probably will be streamed on Team Spooky, as it usually is. In fact, Spooky usually travels to the Big E events because Big E is like the guy who gave him his first shot at like major tournaments and stuff. So I don't know if Spooky himself is going to be at NEC this weekend or not, but that is coming up this weekend, so you definitely want to check that out if you...
Did they stream the 3S cabs last year? Am I remembering that correctly?
They did.
Because I know there's a number of pretty good Third Strike guys showing up. They'll probably be.
Yeah, that was on Nika KO's stream.
Yeah, David.
Nika
you even commentated for that. You commentated that.
Yeah, that was pretty good to watch last year.
Yeah, that was cool. Sure.
There was a cool 4v4 Super Turbo tournament this weekend as well that I wanted to stay up all night and commentate overnight like I did for the other tournaments, but I was just lazy and I got tired.
Well,
and I
can't blame you.
So that's what I decided to do.
So we'll definitely talk about NEC results next week, and the Steves will be back. So I'd love to hear from them about how Japan went and how it was to be at the Tekken Global Finals in person.
They'll be able to give us a lot more information and lot more feedback on how that event went.
You know what I'd also really like to talk about once they're here is kind of wrap up how Street Fighter 5 Season 1 went, and like tiers and how all that fleshed out, and we will also know what the changes in Season 2 will be by that time, because it's going to be out next Tuesday.
It's a good idea.
Have they confirmed whether or not the changes people saw at PSX will be... Like,
it
is it
seems
final,
like
or
they're
are they
not.
still kind of messing around with it?
I'm not sure, to be honest, because today at Winter Stays On in the UK, they had a stream with Season 2, and it was not the same changes as at the PSX.
Yeah.
But which one of those is the more recent update, or which one's coming out?
They might have just been
either
trying out different things just to put in like a compiled list of changes.
Not sure.
I'll probably say as well that on Wednesday morning after Akuma comes out, I know I wanted to stream. I think Olaf Redland wants to come and help me with that. So probably Wednesday morning we'll be streaming and trying to see how Akuma works, really trying to break him down. And then also probably just messing with some of the Season 2 changes and going through that a little bit too.
Cool, yep.
So
for sure.
I'm turning into Sage.
Yeah, you're actually touching your hair a lot.
Stop touching your hair.
You're 4/5 of the way
it's
there.
It's just a white guy thing.
As you started.
Start finger gunning the screen. There you go. There you
go. Nice grin. That's basically what he looks like.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have been very quiet about balance changes. Capcom has. So hopefully we'll get a change list out soon. They said they were going to put a change list out like the day after PSX, like on Sunday, and it never happened. So that makes me think that they're still making some changes, maybe based on some of the feedback they got, so they didn't want to put anything out.
Could be.
Who knows? That's because the thing about it is, like, this is a patch instead of an actual disc release, so they can probably change it a lot closer to release time than disc, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm making that up. I'm totally making that part
up.
up.
I have no idea if that's true.
Let's be honest, none of us know what they're doing
we have no idea.
Anything at this point.
For sure. But we'll talk about that stuff next week. As for now, anything else?
Someone said, ask Olaf about his MVC wish list. Hopefully it won't have J. Jonah Jameson and Dustman.
Is it confirmed to be pronounced Dustman or is it Dustman?
What kind of question is that? I don't.
Dude, how can you want him in the game and not know the true proper
I didn't even beat the game.
You don't even know how his name is pronounced.
Look, there wasn't a whole lot to pick on the
Capcom side. It's Ira Dustman. That's his full name. I'm going with it. Ira Dustman.
Sure.
Shmuel Dustman. All right, we're out of here.
I guess we can also talk a little bit about ESL. Yeah, so we just did the ESL King of the Hill earlier today. K-Brad defeated Pavocado, who defeated Stupendous. So he beat Stupendous 10-5. Then K-Brad, very close match. Pavocado went up with a 4-0 lead. K-Brad eventually turned it all the way around, won 10-8. But the most important thing that I do want to talk about is that King of the Hill is coming back on January 10th. So it was on at 3, so it's always on 3 o'clock on Tuesday in the afternoon. But it's coming back, and it's now changing from NorCal, SoCal to East Coast versus West Coast. So they've confirmed to me that they are bringing back players who have played in the first 2 seasons already. So we'll see guys like Chris G, Chris Tatarian, Filipino Man potentially to show up, because I don't think he showed up in the first.
No.
He didn't show up in the first or second season, but we'll get some of those players there. But they already said confirmed for season 3 so far, because obviously they're going to get more East Coast players. Are Alucard, Sabin, and L.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to get those
sweet
guys out here towards the West Coast, and that should be a lot of fun.
That'll start on January 10th and be every Tuesday around midday.
Did you see Alucard at that Sports Person of the Year thing? Getting interviewed?
I wasn't sure what that was all about.
I don't know what he was. I didn't see the interview. I just know. I guess he was invited there for the ceremony, and they interviewed him about something. Like they interviewed like LeBron and like all these legit guys, and then it's just like, wait, is that Alucard? Like, what is going on? I don't know what they talked about, but maybe that's what we're looking up.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that, Burning Kai. I think we talked about that last week, that Street Fighter V Season 2 characters were all going to be brand new characters, right?
So, that's what they are saying, but we'll see.
I mean, with all the character cards that they were releasing, I think people have already like matched up with the
I don't believe there's only one of those that I believe. And that's Helen, the Gil's assistant. That's the only one that I can believe from the shadows. The other ones, I don't buy them. I actually just don't buy them.
It's still just guessing. I mean, everyone that was guessing on the season 1 silhouettes, like half of those were wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what they're going to look like once they're actually like in 3D.
So KFC asked, what do we think about no more auto qualifiers for CPT? I kind of want to save that for the Street Fighter V discussion. We can have a closed Street Fighter V, closed CPT kind of conversation at that point in time. And then also we'll have better knowledge of what the changes are. So
Sure.
we can have an all Street Fighter V episode next week.
Okay.
So. Okay.
Sounds good.
Cool. I mean, again, sorry guys for the short episode, but there's just not much going on. I mean, we were super desperate for content. We even had to bring Casmer on.
God, we have stooped to new lows, friends.
I know.
You're talking to the king of content. All right, check that Twitter.
Hey, if you want to find out about some scary movies to watch, you can look at.
If you want to look at what are the worst movies of the year, because it's apparently all I watch. If you like watching somebody get really drunk and just complain about Adam Sandler movies, I got you down.
I'm deleting his Twitter off there so people can't follow him.
Probably for the best.
Look, they'll find it. If they want it, they'll find it.
I like how Filthy Cricket tweeted crickets. Well done.
Yeah.
Look, man.
How did we even let him on when he said Civil War was a terrible movie?
I said that months ago.
I know.
I called into the show to talk about that.
I remember.
Oh, yeah,
that.
We were talking about Comic Break, and that was
You
the
actually
last
did.
thing I said.
That's right.
So this is your fault.
Yeah, you actually did. You called in.
Look, Civil War aside, Logan comes out in like 3 months.
Logan looks really good, actually.
I don't care if you actually see the movie. Just walk in at like the last 5 minutes, and my name is somewhere in those credits.
Oh,
if you just see that,
okay.
we're fine. I don't care if you
I
actually watch the
actually
movie.
heard that it's going to be rated R.
Yes.
It's rated R, and like
It
there's
is
going to be
a hard R.
Yeah, and it's apparently like it's just like
It looks good.
I heard it's like F-bombs all over the place and
Yeah.
like really violent and stuff like that. So.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, obviously I can't get too into it, but I'm excited for it. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
You know my opinions on like every superhero movie. I cannot wait to see this movie.
Alrighty.
Okay. Cool.
I can't wait to see those credits. That's all.
Yep, I'll see that.
All right.
All
right. Tune in next week. We'll do a giant Street Fighter V recap
Yeah.
next week. The two Steves should be back. Hopefully they won't be too tired. They'll be able to get on the show and stuff like that. I mean, they're coming back tomorrow, I believe.
Oh, they'll be fine.
Yeah, so they'll have enough time to get over jet lag. But then we'll finally have like the real Say Jam and like Tasty Steve instead of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Finally have this guy here. So.
Yep, he did, Shogundo.
Majin Obama, who's 2D Jazz on Twitter, announced that the Tenkaichi Budokai competitors. So this was votes to get into a Guilty Gear Xrd tournament in Japan. And the competitors have been decided. It is going to be Karinchu Johnny, which is awesome because Karinchu Johnny is godlike. Zadi Raven, Kazuki Dizzy, FAB Potemkin, of course. Roy with Soul, Nage, of course, with Faust. Haken with Soul, and Samito. Oh, Samito with Chip.
That's cool.
So they're going to face off in the arcade in an 8-man in-person league live from the arcade.
First to tens.
All around.
Sick.
You're going to have to let me know, Majin, what the situation is, because I would love to, do DHCs on that. I would like to do delayed hyper commentary on all those matches. So let me know if you guys are going to have English commentary on it or not. If not, then I will definitely try to do that. So,
Alrighty. Well, that's it for tonight.
I'll see you guys next time on the Ultra Chat
you're
Show.
not.
You sure won't.
Yeah, from the chat.
Tune in next time for the Ultra Casmer Show.
God.
It's only me. David's
No,
not actually here.
we're
That's just
done.
what we're
I'm shutting down the
Shut
mic.
him off.